If you don't open the door, we will bust the window.
In spite of all the information that we have that the sovereign citizen ideology is flawed, we continue to see people attempt to try this on the roadways of our country. I can tell you one thing for sure is that if you attempt to do it in certain states, it is going to be shut down very quickly. And Arkansas is one of those states. So if you want to try to play the sovereign citizen game, you're going to get your window broken out if you refuse to open the door. You're going to get extracted from the vehicle, and you know the rest of the story. This is one of those.
Drive 241.
Okay, there was a whole lot of moving going on inside the vehicle, reaching around and grabbing stuff like that. That is not the ideal way to act if you get pulled over by the police, because when we walk up to the vehicle, we don't know what you're reaching for. The safest thing to do is place your hands on the steering wheel and wait to hear what the officer has to say and go from there.
Hello, Corporal Crabb with the State Police. I was stopping you for speeding this afternoon. I see your license and insurance.
The Sheriff's Department has my driver's license.
Okay.
They've stolen it on 2 different occasions, but I got the paperwork for you.
Okay. They took your license?
They haven't replaced it yet.
Okay.
My notice of liability.
All right. All right. Give me just a second, sir.
Real quick, whenever I watch these videos, I always look to see if the officer turns around and take a peek to see what the driver's doing. Didn't notice it here, but maybe he did it when he came out of frame. New aspiring officers always take that peek back, make sure to see what exactly the vehicle is doing or the occupants are doing.
1628.
J16, he's at headquarters right now. Do you have traffic for him?
Now I've got a sovereign down here. It's going to have somebody come over here.
Ding, 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 sovereign citizen. So a couple of things to give it away right in the beginning is that I think the window down just a bit. He called his insurance a notice of liability. Most documentation that you're going to have for your vehicle is not going to be on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. It's going to be a small type of card, so it probably has a whole bunch of writing. The officer obviously notices. There was another key phrase that he said the sheriff's office or sheriff's department stole his driver license on 2 occasions. And that's not a quote, but something to that effect, that they stole his driver license, which would lead an officer likely to believe that the person had their license taken back from them for some type of violation. And the sovereign ideology would assume that it was stolen from them. It was smart for the officer to ask for another unit. Under the circumstances, you never know which way this could potentially go. Get another unit. Smart thing to do.
I'll turn around and come your way.
J15, J16, where was you at?
Now I'm over here on 64, somewhere in Knoxville.
J15, 64, right before Johnson, Road 1680,
This is interesting. So this is another trooper's perspective. He's going to back up the other trooper. And the initial trooper gave his location, but it was a bit vague. And then what I'm hearing is a dispatcher giving a very specific location. And my understanding, and I know that a lot of departments have this, and I'm almost guaranteed that Arkansas State Troopers have it, where they have the GPS location of all of their troopers at any given time, and that's updated frequently. Super sharp dispatcher gives the location to assisting units. And it may take a long time because a lot of these troopers work in these remote type areas and they can be far from each other.
I run a Ronald Markham. Last name is M-A-R-C-U-M.
Ronald Markham, he shows Class B suspended, 53 out of Clarksville PD and Clarksville PD.
So it sounds like the dispatcher came back and said that the driving privilege was suspended on the driver.
Zoe, I came off the interstate at Knoxville. I guess that's 315 was coming back east. So I'm back this direction of that.
10-4, I'm at the 48 right now. I'm making my way over to you.
Not yet. He's moving about in the car too much, and he's. No, not yet. I don't know if he's on the phone or.
Are you 1012?
You see the driver, you see the rearview mirror. When a person adjusts their mirror, sometimes you can see that they're trying to look back at the officer. As from the officer perspective, we can tell that the person's trying to see what it is that we're doing. Of course, a person absolutely has a right to do that. In fact, cool, do it. But an officer's going to key in on the fact that you're checking out what the officer is doing. I don't know if you noticed that, but if you did, good. The other thing is the commentary that was made about this person threatening judges and I think elected officials in the area. So again, good reason that in the beginning, the officer called for another unit. And it's taken an extended period of time for the unit to get there, but the officer is not being anxious. He's being patient. So he can be tactical. He has a backup and then he deals with the situation accordingly. I want to talk about something. If this person is in their car and it's hot, they don't have their vehicle on or they don't have AC, is it reasonable for the person to step out of the car and stand in front of the patrol vehicle? It's 100% reasonable. If the person wanted to get out of the car, I would say, sure, come on back, stand in front of the patrol car. And if I was concerned enough to want to back up, if it was appropriate for me to conduct the pat down, then I would just conduct the pat down and I would have them just stand in front of the vehicle. Taking into consideration the fact that it could be hot and this is a citizen that we're dealing with, although they might want to consider themselves a sovereign citizen, they still have rights and we would afford them those same exact rights.
16, are you east of Knoxville on 64?
Yeah, I don't even remember how far down I got from 315 when I met him and turned on him.
J15, he is east of 64, right before Johnson Private Road, 1682 Road, P1682 Road.
So that was again a situation where locations given by the officer, it's not as specific. Dispatch is sharp, listening to what's going on her channel and gives the more precise location for the trooper to be able to arrive. Good stuff.
28 close.
J28.
I didn't hear. Do we have any warrants that'll pick him up? Anybody want him?
I've sent a confirmation to Clarksville PD. I haven't heard back.
Let me explain a little bit about warrants and how they work. So what this happens here, and in jurisdiction to jurisdiction, it varies, and this is about jurisdictions. A person can have a warrant in one jurisdiction, and that jurisdiction only. Officers will look for officers from that jurisdiction to conduct the booking. The officer can see the warrant, and they'll ask that department. In this case, they were saying Clarksville, so the dispatcher is going to call to see if they want to come and get him. So under the circumstances, I would have the same thing happen all the time, because in Las Vegas, we had North Las Vegas to the north and Henderson to the south. And sometimes you run a person and they have a North Las Vegas warrant and you call to see if Northtown wants them. They do, you stand by, Northtown officer comes, grabs the person, takes them to their jail. Same thing would happen with Henderson. You want them, they'll come and get them. So that's what it looks like is happening here.
What's the warrant out of Clarksville PD for?
Shows original charge as criminal trespassing.
So far we have a person who we heard the officer say there was a speeding violation. Then we see the suspended driver license. And then we see that there is a warrant from a neighboring jurisdiction. I don't know if Clarksville's neighboring, but a jurisdiction that this person has what appears to be a warrant that is confirmed. Those are the things that it looks like we're dealing with so far.
$25, 28 and 15. 10 for J25.
17
He may have a weapon. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was fiddle farting around. It's like, and I'm like, he said, Johnson County's got my license. They won't replace it. Well, I looked and I could see sovereign stuff. I was like, I just something out of it.
Okay, a couple things I want to mention. The officer, it appears he emerged from the driver's side. I've mentioned before in my videos that it's tactically more advantageous to operate and conduct business from the passenger seat for a couple of reasons. Because you have the engine block as cover in case you end up getting into a firefight. Number two is it creates a barrier. If a person's starting to come towards you or whatever as they exit the vehicle, operating from that seat is much better. If a person comes at you and you need to bail out of your car, you're not bailing out into traffic. But some officers choose to do it from the driver's side, and I've heard the arguments as to why. The other thing I'd like to mention, and I gotta mention this, is look at the impressive tactical bun on this female trooper. I mean, it's so perfectly wrapped. However she did it, it's going to be more challenging for a person to try to grab her hair. And it's just really good to see that she takes that much effort to make sure that she has every part of her body, including that tactical bun, ready to go in case she gets into the mix.
He's talking to somebody saying,
Is he answering you?
he said he's going to fix and break his windows.
We will. Tell him that's going to happen. He's not wanting to get out. He's BSing around, saying he's talking to somebody.
Hey, step out. Step out over there. Okay, step out. Open the door. Step out. Okay. Look, I'm going to check you guys. Y'all are operating
Open the door.
Watch out.
Open the door.
Watch out.
I don't know if you heard that, but he said, I don't contract with you guys. I don't operate. You guys are a corporation. It's the same sovereign citizen talk that you hear all the time that people spew, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, do tell him that.
If you don't open the door, we will bust the window. You're gonna get the window busted. You're gonna come out. I'm trying to do this. You're operating. Get close.
Let me pull my car in front of his.
So concern here is crossfire. I get messages from people, hey, you say to go on this side and this side, how is there not going to be crossfire? Angles, 45-degree angle. If you're right across from each other like this, that's where you're going to get your crossfire challenges. If you step back a bit and you get at a 45-degree angle, you can at least mitigate the crossfire to some degree. But standing right across from each other, it's got to be a crossfire alert.
Grab him. Let her do the talking. You get up on his bumper. $27.
Stay in your vehicle. Block that lane right there.
28 Clark. Be advised, we have him boxed in on the shoulder. Hold traffic. Direct net.
So let me talk about that hold traffic, radio traffic. In my jurisdiction, we call that a code red, emergency traffic only. That means that no one can get on that channel and just call out a regular car stop. You can't say anything. They have the channel. And it creates a safety issue depending on the jurisdiction on what you alternate channels you have to do, because a lot of times you just go to an alternate channel and it can cause a lot of confusion. And again, I'm not sure specifically how it works in this jurisdiction, but I'm believing that there are 5 troopers on this guy and we have a channel that's held up, meaning that all the other stuff that's going on in the area, those things can't be handled in a normal procedure because of this person's defiance. Now, if you want to be defiant, I get it. I mean, this country was based on defiance to some degree, but on the side of the road is where you want to try to do this and make this case. That's not the place to do it, and it's not going to work.
We're spraying if we're spraying if we're breaking.
Get up. Open the door. Open the door.
I know. Hey, watch his hands.
Okay, I want to pause it really quickly because I want to talk about pepper spray. So I think their plan is break the window, pepper spray inside. I've seen that work many, many times. So I just want to talk about the female officer really quickly. Pepper spray, very effective tool. If you deploy it, be prepared to be able to deal with it. That's why I've trained and I've had myself pepper sprayed. I know what I can do if I'm pepper sprayed, what I'm capable of, and I know how to mitigate the effects of it. But the challenge that I have is that she is a right-hand dominant officer, meaning she carries her lethal in her right hand. And she's utilizing this tool in that same hand. Now, granted, you can go drop and go to this tool, but I've always trained that this stays in the support hand, so I can always be lethal and low lethal at the same time. If you're a new aspiring officer, remember, keeping this hand free is key.
Let's do it. Chad, let's go.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get out. Help! Get on the ground. Get out of the car. Get on the ground. I didn't do nothing. What the fuck did you do that bird? You better man, come on, man. Please.
Get out of the car.
I didn't do nothing.
Get out of the car.
Kidnapping.
Go get your gloves on. Go get your gloves on.
Unlocked. Oh my God! Help
Let's go.
me! Help me!
Let's go.
Help me! Help me! Help me!
He's wedged in.
Help me! Help
Let go of it. Let go of it.
grabbing hold of the wheel.
Please get me out! Please get me out! Ouch! Ouch! The concrete's burning!
Alright, we'll get something to say.
Ouch! Please! Please, it's burning me!
We'll get something to say.
It's burning me! I need something to drink! Ouch! I can't see that! I can't see!
28 caution.
I got shit all over my It burns!
We're 10:15. Started EMPs for decontamination. One subject sprayed.
In custody. Okay, a lot of things to go over in this vehicle extraction. I've mentioned in my videos many times that training vehicle extractions is incredibly important because in today's day and age in policing, you're likely going to have to extract a person from a vehicle. If you have a 5-officer element, you've got a lot of really good opportunities to make it very smooth. When you approach that vehicle, low lethal, you already should know who that person's going to be. Lethal coverage, the breacher and how they're going to breach and which breaching tool they're going to use, a person giving verbal commands and how you're going to go hands-on. And these opposing sides of the vehicle, it becomes incredibly challenging to get the person out, and not having a plan can create those challenges. And I don't know whether they had a plan or not. It didn't appear that they had a plan, but they got the job done. But if you train it, it becomes almost as smooth as butter, as much as it can be with the person resisting to the degree that this person was resisting. We also saw some officers experience some of the challenges with the pepper spray. And again, just be ready for that because it's going to happen if you deploy the pepper spray. One of the other things that I noticed, and I mentioned the female trooper utilizing her dominant hand with the pepper spray. But one thing on the flip side that I noticed that was incredibly smooth is that she was able to put her pepper spray back into her belt exactly where it was supposed to go and never look down. She kept her eye on the threat. And I've always told you that I look at how effectively a person can get their gear. When I would train in the academy, wherever I was, close your eyes, pepper spray, handcuffs, and you'd be able to get to it on your belt or touch it on your belt, whatever the other person called out. And you'd go on lunch, go back and forth like that. I was very impressed by the female trooper being able to do that. Another incredibly important thing is under the circumstances, if your jurisdiction allows it, or if it's possible, and you know you're going to have to break out a window and pepper spray someone, why not have medical on standby? If you can, have medical just stand by. So you don't have to call them after the fact, because that period of time that it takes for them to arrive can be the time between when the person ends up having a very, very serious injury or an injury becoming much more serious because they don't have the immediate aid. And training at a junkyard, I've said this before, reach out to a local junkyard and say, hey, can we come by? And you have some vehicles that are going to be destroyed. Go and have at it. It'll be a lot of fun. Break out some windows and train with it and just do it in a safe manner. And document that training. If you end up getting sued, that will be incredibly helpful that you trained that specific task.
Hold your head up. Hold your head up with the water in your eye. We don't get the water on you. Tilt your head back. Tilt your head back.
Hold your breath, I got more water. Hold your breath.
It's burning my butt. Get asshole, burning my butt.
Here, stand up.
It's fucking hot, man.
Stand up. Hold on. Stand up.
Oh, God.
Stand up. Stand up.
Oh, my God. Oh, shit. Fucking burns everywhere. My fucking hand's hurting, man. Ouch. My left knee's fucking killing me, man.
I want to talk a little bit about if you're exposed to pepper spray. It's painful. It's called oleoresin capsicum. It's basically a highly concentrated pepper that burns and it irritates the eyes, the nose, makes it difficult to breathe. It burns the skin as well. If ever you accidentally get pepper spray, because I hope that no one's watching this that's intentionally going to get pepper spray, but if you are pepper sprayed, if someone does it to you for whatever reason, remaining calm is the most important thing. If you can remain calm and get your breathing and know that it's going to go away, the better off you are. Remaining calm and being able to be calm is one of the best things that you could possibly do.
Hey, whose phone? Is that his? Okay.
Brian and everybody else got on something. No, I said I'm going to start that away.
Hello? Hello?
Maybe we can get down there.
Hello?
on the phone. I don't know who it is.
Hello?
It's his phone.
Hello?
Yeah.
Somebody say hello.
I know.
Who is it?
Who is this?
This is the Arkansas House of Representatives.
He called the Arkansas House of Representatives.
Yeah. But I wanted you guys to get on the phone so I could tell you that we talked to him yesterday and he called us back today. And what we were telling him to do was to just to see what you guys had to say. And I don't know what else to tell you guys. He was calling us for help yesterday.
Right, I think he got stopped yesterday too or something, I'm not sure. Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay. Well, you're so welcome. Take care.
He called the Arkansas House of Representatives.
This is interesting. He called the Arkansas House of Representatives, which getting someone on the phone at the House of Representatives is shocking in and of itself. I feel like if I called the House of Representatives, I wouldn't be able to get anyone on the phone. Not a knock on them, but it's hard to get governmental people on the phone a lot of times. That said, he left his phone on speaker, and this happens to officers a lot when they get taken into custody. So if there's a phone inside the car, and I've seen this happen before, a person will call someone and they hear everything that the officer's saying, they hear the entire exchange. So just be aware that your conversation is possibly listened to by someone on a speakerphone inside of a vehicle.
He was going with that warrant. I'm like, no. He's got 2 FTA warrants. He can post a bond. And he's suspended now. Yeah.
So you heard him say it has 2 FTA warrants, and I know a lot of people already know what an FTA warrant is. For those of you who don't, when it says FTA, that stands for failure to appear. That means that they were supposed to appear for a ticket or something, and they just never showed up in court. And then the court issues a warrant, and it's an FTA warrant, failure to appear. And an officer is mandated to take a person to jail on those FTA failure to appear warrants. In some jurisdictions, it's a criminal not to take the person to jail. I don't think it's every jurisdiction, but I know some jurisdictions it is.
J28 dispatch.
Go ahead, J28.
I don't know if they've advised you, but have the COs meet us out in the Sally Port, please.
So he said, have the COs meet me in the Sally Port. So this is interesting because in a lot of jurisdictions, they'll do something like this. If there's been force used upon a person, if a person's non-cooperative or have been violent, sometimes they'll have the COs meet outside in the Sally Port because it might be a contentious interaction inside once they pull them out of the vehicle. So it's a good idea to have the COs meet outside, and I believe that's why he made that call.
Do you want them? We'll get some trustees.
Yeah, wipe it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write the obstruction ticket, and then I'm gonna go fill out the paperwork.
Okay.
There, and then I'm gonna go.
Okay.
A lot of things to take into account. We're at the Sally Port of the jail. Are you in the shape to be in the fight of your life? I can't answer that question. Only you can answer that question. And if you work in a field where you may have to get into a physical interaction with the person, you have to ask yourself that question. And can you answer it? Are you in the shape to be in the fight of your life? I heard the officer mention something about obstructing, which was probably when the person refused to get out of the vehicle. And then the guy had a warrant. Again, these videos, we see the same exact result every single time. And this video brought something to light that I wanted to mention because I had no idea that this group of people would be so active in the comment section, and it's Team Tac Bun. You guys are really on your game as far as switching up to the tac buns, and the comments that you make actually make me chuckle. And the female officer had a phenomenal tac bun. So shout out to the tac bun team. I just envision you guys putting your hair up in tac buns when the videos come out. Here's some people mentioning that. I really appreciate the support as the channel continues to grow. So like the video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel and click on the video that's on your screen for more content just like this.